Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something huge, a really world-altering idea.
It's a big one.
The idea that our reality might actually be a simulation. We've been going through all the source material, especially the simulation advantage, and I mean it just flips the whole script on that classic sci-fi dread.
It really does. For decades, if you thought about a simulated reality, you'd immediately picture something dystopian.
Oh yeah, total control, fear.
Exactly. But what these sources are showing is this monumental cultural shift. People are embracing the idea, and it's becoming a catalyst for
Constraint removal.
Yeah. As global awareness grows, leaders and communities are starting to see old limitations, social, economic, even the physical ones, as just, potentially changeable system parameters.
Oh, if reality is code.
You can debug it.
Okay, let's unpack this. What happens when humanity just sort of moves past that initial fear and accepts we might be in a simulation? I mean, we have to start with that title from the sources. The simulation advantage, embracing reality's illusion for a brighter future.
Yeah.
It's so counterintuitive.
It is, but the moment you stop seeing the simulation as a trap...
As a prison.
Exactly. The moment you start seeing it as a dynamic environment, well, everything changes.
The sources talk about an immediate cognitive benefit.
They do. It's this idea of applied skepticism, the thought that our limitations might just be really effective programming that inspires a radical kind of innovation. So instead of being paralyzed, it becomes a mandate for collective action.
It's a complete cultural flip. It goes from we're powerless cogs in a machine
to we're co-creators. We might not get all the rules yet, but we can experiment.
And that's what's fueling this incredible creativity. The perceived ceiling of what's possible has just been, poof, lifted.
What's fascinating here is how quickly people are moving past the initial shock and seeing the practical potential. I mean, innovators, policymakers.
They're really internalizing it.
They are, and the implication is huge. We're at a crossroads where leaders know they have to adapt. The whole conversation has moved from, philosophy seminars to actual cabinet meetings almost overnight.
Which brings us right to politics, where the really heavy lifting is happening. We saw that headline. Political paradigms shift as leaders embrace simulation science to reshape governance.
Right. And simulation science here doesn't mean they're wearing VR headsets in Parliament.
Oh, right.
No, it refers to this really sophisticated use of predictive computational modeling. Things like complex adaptive systems, CAS, and digital twins.
So they're using them to model the ripple effects of policy changes.
With a granularity that was never possible before.
So leaders are basically running policy betas, seeing what a tax change might do in a simulation before they commit to it in the perceived real world.
That's a perfect way to describe it. And this huge existential question, are we simulated? It's forced them to see that global issues like climate change or pandemics...
They're too interconnected.
Exactly. You can't solve them with the old state-centric kind of governance. It just doesn't work.
The sources mention unprecedented collaboration. But does this shared revelation really just erase old rivalries so quickly?
It catalyzes cooperation. It has to. Because the systems they're modeling are inherently interconnected. The sources point specifically to that recent summit on simulation governance.
The one this week's.
Yeah. And its whole goal was to shift governance away from this old zero-sum competition and instead towards optimizing the health of the entire collective system.
That's a huge distinction. Not just what's good for my country, but what's good for the whole system.
Yes. And the summit's outcome was an agreement on protocols for decentralized decision-making. They're sharing models, sharing data from these CAS simulations, and building alliances that test policies against global well-being, not just narrow national interests.
So the biggest existential questions are directly driving practical revolutionary policy.
That's it.
Okay, let's pivot to business and tech, because the speed of adaptation there is just staggering. The article, Simulation Innovations, Tech Leaders Forge a New Digital Future. Here's where it gets really interesting. What are the actual technologies emerging that go beyond, what we think of as VR?
Well, the surge isn't about making slightly better video games. Tech leaders are building infrastructure that lets users actively participate in the construct.
Okay.
We're seeing massive investment in something called augmented reality overlay infrastructure. It's technology that allows for shared, consensus-driven digital changes to the world we perceive.
So wait, instead of me just looking at an app on my phone, large groups of people can sort of collaboratively edit their shared perception of a place.
Precisely. Think about urban planning on the fly, or massive collaborative art projects, or educational simulations where a whole community can interact with a projected reality that's laid over the physical world.
Wow.
It's all about tapping into that basic human need to connect and to build.
That brings the whole philosophy right back to our humanity, doesn't it? Even if the stage is a construct, we still need each other to build the sets.
And that need is driving incredible economic creativity. Business leaders are all in on this. The whole economic framework is shifting from selling, finite physical things
To selling. Yeah.
to selling experiential architecture, tools and platforms that let users build and define their own shared realities.
Yeah.
It's a total reevaluation of what value even is.
Okay, so from global tech and finance to maybe the most surprising part of all this, the personal cultural response. I'm looking at this article. Families unite in awe as simulation theory inspires global wedding trend.
It's the ultimate human reaction, isn't it? If reality itself is a huge mystery, why not celebrate committing to explore it together?
So families are just uniting over the sheer awe of it all.
They are. The article talks about couples using their weddings to embrace this. It's bringing families together across all kinds of philosophical divides.
So what is a simulation theory wedding? What does it even look like? Is it like a subtle nod or something more theatrical?
It's highly symbolic and really personal. The sources point to two big trends. First, couples are taking what they call vows of shared discovery.
Vows of shared discovery.
Yeah, acknowledging that reality is uncertain and dynamic and committing to navigate all the unknowns together. And second, they're using temporary, highly personalized AR filters and projected environments.
Ah, so there's the practical application of that AR tech we just talked about.
Exactly. They're literally, for a moment, constructing a shared custom world for their ceremony. Maybe it's a projected landscape, some thematic environment. It's a symbolic act of building their own reality within the bigger simulation.
It grounds this giant existential question in the most relatable human experience there is.
The resilience of love and the commitment to create meaning no matter what.
That's actually the perfect summary of this whole deep dive. This revelation is inspiring creativity everywhere, from global policy down to our most personal moments. The fear is being replaced by fuel.
And if you connect all those dots, the sources are really clear about what has to come next.
Okay.
All that political momentum from the governance summit, it's expected to shift immediately to creating ethical frameworks.
Which sounds absolutely essential right now. With this tech advancing so fast and these new governance models, you'd need guardrails.
You have to. They're critical for balancing that rapid advancement with our deeper self-understanding. The sources suggest three main pillars for these first frameworks.
What were they?
First is establishing data sovereignty and consciousness rights, basically defining who owns the experiential data we generate in this reality.
So protecting your inner self from external measurement. Okay, what's number two?
Second is robust existential risk management, because if you're modeling policies with simulation science, you have to govern the risks of accidentally breaking the code.
Right. Don't want to do that. And the third?
The third is mandating transparency of system parameters. That means certain core operational rules of our reality have to be accessible. It's about promoting trust and informed governance.
That need for thoughtful planning is the perfect place to leave this. The depth of this shift it's genuinely inspiring. So here's the final thought for you to take away. If our leaders are really using simulation science to build a more inclusive, collaborative future, what core values, inherent to our human experience and not dependent on reality being real or code, what values must we make sure are enshrined in those new ethical frameworks? Think about things like integrity, compassion, the pursuit of truth. Which ones are non-negotiable, regardless of what our underlying operating system turns out to be? Think on that. And thanks for joining us for this deep dive.